Well, hello everyone. I was going to say welcome back to Upload, but as you can see today we are not in our virtual studio as usual. We're actually in an entirely different space. We've left the planet. We are in, well, space, as you can see, and I'm joined by one Alex from Co-op Innovations. Say hi.
How's it going, Jamie? Hello.
I feel it feels a bit weird, like introducing you when we're inside your game.
It does feel a bit peculiar, but yeah, it's cool. We're a space team. We're working together. That's what matters, you know. I'm glad you could visit our ship and marvel at the beautiful surroundings.
So, Spaceteam is a four. Well, how many players is Spaceteam?
Up to 6 players. Up to 6 players.
6 players. There you go. Yeah, I should really count around so I knew that. Multi-platform VR game coming to Quest and PC VR tomorrow, May 21st. That's
Indeed,
correct, right?
Tomorrow, yeah.
And if you're watching, you might already be familiar with Spaceteam because, of course, it was a mobile app created a long time ago where people come together. You're given a bunch of different orders to fix your spaceship as you're traveling light years through space, and you have to shout over everyone else's voices, make sure you're hearing your specific instructions, and it gets really chaotic very quickly, which is what you've really tried to capture in the VR version of the game, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, we're all really big fans of the original game made by Henry, who's a Sleeping Beast Games out in Montreal, I believe. And yeah, like we licensed the game from him a couple of years back, and then developed it into the VR version. Like, we love, like, our company's called Cooperative Innovations. We love making cool cooperative things when in VR and AR, and so we thought bringing Spaceteam to this platform would be like the perfect match. And we think like it really is. Like, people have really enjoyed playing it. We did like a really fun beta test with like a couple of hundred odd people, and like, yeah, it's just a fun, accessible game that whether you're new to VR or whether you're playing cross-platform with mobile play, people kind of get it, and it's just fun to communicate and coordinate and just have fun and do wacky things in space.
Yeah, so like you said, you licensed the game a couple of years ago.
Yeah, back in 2016.
I think a lot of social VR elements have come a long way since then. I mean, talking to you now, one thing that I really notice is how good the avatar work is in this game, right? The approximation of where our elbows are. So there must have been, you know, you would think that it would just be as easy as taking Spaceteam, adding online microphone talking, and you'd be away. But it's really a lot harder than that, right?
Oh, 100%. So, like, all the animations for the characters you see, we have our in-house technology called Ichabod, and we use that, and it's a inverse kinematics engine that obviously takes the head position from your headset and your hands, and then animates the character and avatar, so you can move around. You know, I can squat, I can grab things, and, you know, do whatever. And it approximates and animates it so it looks legitimate, and obviously with the mouth sync you've got as well, so when I'm talking from my microphone you hear me and see my mouth moving in the game. So yeah, we've got a lot of in-house technology that we combined with the property of Spaceteam to make it seem as naturalistic and as fun as possible.
It also animates this Christmas hat that I'm wearing.
Actually having a lot of fun twirling that around.
I could potentially do the rest of the interview like this. If
that would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, just you know, twizzling around.
I'm going to watch back to see how good it is for headbanging. So much of the original Spaceteam on mobile was about kind of voice work, and then the interactions were all kind of largely similar, right? There was some differentiation. Obviously in VR you open up this kind of whole new plane of interactivity. At what point did you guys realize that this wasn't just going to be about talking and shouting over each other, but also you had to come up with, you know, things like taking a hammer to repair buttons once they break? If you've got a fire, you put it out like that.
100%.
Yep, get some goop and you have to clean it like that, right? And then alien invasion, have to fend them off like that. That must have been like a really kind of iterative process and taken a long time to come up with the right stuff that feels really fun.
Yeah,
right?
So 100%. Back when we first started like working on it, like we had like a prototype design in kind of like a ship that I think when we first came on Upload VR and like showed a little trailer of it, it looked very different. It was mine kind of more of an angular kind of like traditional sci-fi kind of like vibe, kind of similar to like Star Trek-y inspired. And you could see like the default male character back then in this ship, and you had your tools around you, and we just iterated upon that. So originally your tools were around you and you could like pick up things on the different panels and buttons. Then we wanted to kind of like focus more on the group experience so you could see other players. So originally the controls would appear around here, and we moved it up so you can see above, like look at the controls and look down and have the space to see other people's faces around in the ship. And so yeah, we just kind of built on, and whilst we had the solid core of the original game, with the instructions and like text, but the text disappearing and things flashing, and then in the original game you have like oil slicks or that kind of leaks out, and you got to wipe that away and whatnot, and you got to repair panels by dragging them back into place. Obviously, with the use of VR and the tools that we thought of, we found a much more fun having a dynamic way of like repairing and engaging with your environment. And then stuff like aliens and UFOs kind of just, it made sense because you're on a spaceship flying in outer space. Of course, you're going to have extraterrestrial threats. So yeah, all the tools kind of evolved once again from existing technologies that we had that we'd used in one of our previous titles, and we kind of adapted it and evolved it into the tools that you see in a Spaceteam.
And over the course of development, have you found that obviously a big part of Spaceteam is the talking, and it's kind of a different experience talking to you now than it is face to face, because we are dependent on the technology inside of our headsets. Has that really changed the game in any way? Did it make it harder to get that like foundation of the game down, if you will?
Well, kind of thanks to Ichabod and our amazing like character designs and facial technologies, we have like a kind of eye focus system. So I know you've got glasses on, but with me, for example, if I pick up the hammer, you can see that I focus on the object that I'm doing and I'm looking. So there's lots of animation that kind of helps naturalize and humanize the experience of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And then combined with the Ichabod kind of animation technology, and also the fact that it kind of replicates body language, and on all platforms we have kind of what we call gesture parity, that you can point, you can do thumbs up, you can do like kind of with between the grab, the pointing, and the thumbs. So you have like a basic level of gestures that everyone can do to communicate, be on Oculus Touch or Vive Wand or Index and whatnot. So by kind of establishing those pillars and making a level playing field for all the players, we found that people got what you mean, because you can point at things, you can do thumbs up, you can dance, you can throw things, and like it just felt very naturalistic. And though obviously we're apart, and especially in these times with everyone remote working due to like the COVID-19 pandemic, we found it surprisingly like it was cool that even for testing the game, even though I can't see my colleagues in real life, we would meet up in Spaceteam, and it felt like I'd seen them that day because I'd just be chatting to them or playing along with them, and you just kind of almost forget that you're in this crazy virtual setting, and you just kind of you just buy into it and it just works.
Well, and I think to that point, part of what works so well of that for Spaceteam is how great these avatars are. They, like I was saying earlier, the animation works really, really well. Is that something that you guys are planning to add more to as the game goes along? Are we going to see more avatars and customization options?
Yeah, we've got plans to add more customizations, both like clothes-wise and also more like characters and like aliens or people and stuff. So yeah, 100% in the future we'll hope to plan to make more content and more things that people can customize and represent themselves with silly hats and glasses and characters and such.
And there's also there's a way to play locally, right, that has connection with is it the original mobile app, or is it on browser?
So we've made a web app. So if you visit stvr.app, then you enter the game code once you're in the face-to-face mode. Then you can play Spaceteam between VR and also between mobile players. So once again, cross-platform still, so any VR headset can join, and you can have mobile players joining to make up 6 players.
Oh man, that's crazy! I'm really looking forward to trying that bit out. It's that's over a local connection, right?
So it was designed over a local connection. Well, that's like kind of the initial design of the mode, but it does work. Essentially, it still uses internet servers to connect. So if you are apart, you can use like a third-party chat app like Discord to do your own VoIP. At the moment, our web app doesn't support VoIP. It's kind of we haven't designed it to, because it was originally local mode. If you start out your own voice chat, then 100% you can play the mobile mode remotely with other people. Cool. We made a lot of effort and a lot of care to make sure that this game was really accessible and comfortable for people. So as you can see, all the kind of gameplay is focused around this console in front of you, and then you yourself turning. So it's very much you feel grounded in the experience of it. And we did our best to make sure it runs like a very, very stable and rock solid frame rate on all the different platforms, so people can not feel as motion sick.
Speaking of that accessibility, I feel like this is something that could work pretty well with Quest hand tracking. Is that something you guys have looked at?
We've had like little experiments and little toys with it, but we don't have anything specifically in the roadmap for it. But like 100% we've messed around and experimented with it. And so as the official SDK comes out, and like, because we make this game in Unreal, once that's like more cemented in, then maybe we'll have a look at it and see what we can do when it comes to the hand tracking.
Awesome. Cool. All right, Alex, thanks. I'd say thanks for joining us, but really it's me joining you.
Thanks for joining me. Yeah, 100%. Thanks for visiting.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. And we'll be bringing you more Spaceteam conversations and cover and reviews and previews and impressions and all of that crazy stuff later on in the week.